Hello everybody, this is JP3 here, and welcome to the worst level in Halo history, the breaking. And boy is it aptly named. I mean, the breaking of my heart, the breaking of Halo's universe. This is it. There is very, very little that I can say about this level that isn't highly negative, is particularly with respect to the way it relates to the story and what ultimately becomes true. The level design is very boring and awful. You got this crap and the constant terrible dialogue between the Warden and the Chief and Cortana and the Warden. It's just a big giant cluster, if you know what I mean. But we're gonna play this level, and we're gonna kick its ass. That's what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna show you how I like to beat the 3 Wardens without dying, or at least at least in a way that minimizes the risk of death as significantly as I could do it. And so stick with it. We will defeat all 3 Wardens, no matter what you see at the start of that battle. But anyway, right now we're gonna deal with a whole bunch of crawlers. And this tiny little bit of ammunition we have for this weapon, we're going to go ahead and use it up now, just for the fun of it, really. I mean, I don't even know if the assault rifle is the best weapon for killing these crawlers, despite its increased headshot damage following the updates that occurred in late 2017/early 2018, or whenever they occurred. But anyway. And for the crawlers, I generally like to use the bolt shot because I think it does a little bit more damage per round. There's no recoil with it that you have to control like you do with the scatter shot, the suppressor. And I think it does a better job maybe with its headshot damage. I'm not really sure if any of that's true. I just know that generally the bolt shot will shred the crawlers pretty decently. No need for that melee attack. So again, continuing on with the bolt shot. I also think the bolt shot does a little better job at staying accurate from range when you don't have red reticle and therefore the tracking from it. So this is actually one of the most annoying and frustrating parts because you have some soldiers back there that have light rifles and they will chew you apart really fast. And then of course you need to take out the watchers. So I like to mark the watchers and get rid of them as soon as possible. Otherwise they will shield the soldiers from taking damage and perhaps even heal them as they are wont to do. So, again, sticking with the bolt shot because of its accuracy, and I think it's higher damage when shooting the heads of these crawlers. And, you know, most of the combat in this mission pretty much boils down to these linear arenas and the game just continually spawning in Promethean enemies. So I'll try to get a little bit closer to these guys. What makes this part really annoying is the fact that you do not yet have access to the light rifle, which was untouched by all those crappy updates, and is the best weapon against these soldiers without using anything else. You know, without any breaking of their armor or anything like that. And I was there, I had a shot on his head, or at least it was close enough to his head that, you know, in most console first-person shooters, the bullet mag would have kicked in there. This guy across the way keeps shooting at me every time I try to do anything, so I'm just going to come over to him and focus on him, but running out of ammo pretty fast because I just don't want to have to go down and grab any of it. I thought that was a headshot there. Again, very annoying to fight this battle without the light rifle. So even though that guy had been a little like worked on by my teammates quite a bit, he does not go down to a Spartan charge, which I should know by now. You're not going to be able to have fun and use those abilities on legendary difficulty. So I think the pistol and our headshot abilities with it do a little bit of a better job here before we finally get tired of using the nerfed UNSC weapons and grab us a light rifle. There's a case for it, the first that you can find in this level as far as I'm aware, that's up on the next level. The only problem with it is that we expose ourselves to the Knight's attack, which tracks. It's an incinerator cannon and it tracks, so it sucks. And, you know, simply involves I simply go to that corner right there that you saw, and usually by going to that corner I'm able to get the incinerator cannon rounds that are being fired at us to go into the geometry. So we're just taking out these guys that are able to long range us. Come down to this area. It's much easier to deal with the Knights down here. They can't really get a nice shot on you here. Be very careful where you take off their carapaces so they don't, you know, get moved into cover when they're doing that animation where you can actually kill them. And with that approach, you can kill them in like, I think it's like 3 or 4 shots max. 2 to take off the carapace at one of the glowing points, and then 1 in the face that they expose whenever you do remove part of their carapace. So this piece of crap is hiding in cover, letting the crawlers do most of the work until he decides to come out. I take a risk and Spartan charge him here. Far be it for Kelly there's and her shotgun to actually work in close range. I don't know whether to blame the developers for their stupidity with respect to the power of her shotgun, or the developers for her stupidity with respect to her attacks. I'm not really sure how many shots she got in there. So I go around there to grab more light rifle ammunition. I do something that I don't always do. I go and pick up their pistol ammunition, if I can find it. And again, I don't always do that. But I hand off 2 of the incinerator cannons to the teammates I have there, and then go and grab, again, their pistol ammunition for the headshot capabilities it has against the ensuing crawler attack. And then I reserve the light rifle, or as much of it as I can, for the soldiers that are deep and will be firing their turrets, well, their soldier captains with turrets. They'll be firing it at us even if we stay pretty far back and in relative safety. I have seen recently, I watched some strategy where someone was crawling up to the next level and getting a shot on the turret captains from there, but I don't think that's necessary. I tried it a couple times. They can still shoot their turrets up there at you. So I think I stuck with what I've done for, you know, since I started playing Halo 5, or at some point when I was playing Halo 5, and just kind of stay, well, you'll see where I go. So this level also dogged by these long elevator rides where I know that it's not to spawn in the level itself, so it's probably done to give you time to speak with Cortana, and it's, you know, all that crap's an embarrassment, so you know, it just sucks really. So notice there, just using that ridge, and then here I've got the pistol ready for the crawlers. Thanks a lot, Linda, for that update on the proceedings here. I've already killed one of them, so I'm pretty sure I know that they are quote-unquote in play. So these guys, of course, will shoot tracking rounds at you, and so, you know, hard to come up and fight the soldier, given that they've got that capability. Notice I was kind of using that ridge and those two barriers there to keep in relative safety from the turret barrage. His helmet is off, but I keep getting shot by these stupid idiots and their tracking rounds. They don't even have to look at you. They can be way the freak back there, and it just sucks. You have to Call of Duty play here, just staying in cover. I'm not insulting Call of Duty, I'm just saying it's much more like that whenever you have tracking rounds, and the enemies, again, are hiding in this darkness that they have no problem seeing you, but, you know, for you, the lighting and the shimmer, or whatever all this crap is, it just impairs things. I don't care how good it looks or quote-unquote realistic it looks. They don't have to deal with it. They don't have any problem with it. And that's the problem. So there's a scatter shot there to your left. I don't grab it here because I don't think it's particularly useful, unfortunately. I think it's best to stick with the bolt shot.
Pick up this weapon.
So there's some crawlers that spawn in there. You can certainly pick up one of the captain's turrets to take them out, but again, notice we're not really having many problems with these two weapons here. The tracking no-skill weapons. Best to stick with what you know. I go ahead and check to see if anyone needs an incinerator cannon. No one does. But I definitely want to have all my guys armed with it, and I want to definitely make sure that they're armed with those cannons for the final battle. But it doesn't hurt for them to have them now. I might be wrong about that. It might be better to equip them all with light rifles, but anyway, I think that's the only time I'm downed in not the Warden battle, if I'm even downed in that battle. I just found myself out of position, and the crawlers took advantage of it, the crafty little bastards. But I like to push up here. I'm going balls to the wall. I don't like to sit back and cover like you're supposed to, or at least, you know, that's the safest thing to do. I just like to keep pushing up and actually have fun with the game, even if it costs me my life, which it would have there if there were crawlers to the left. So obviously, if you're intent on playing this deathlessly and relatively smoothly, then, you know, obviously just stay back and shoot things at range. Some grenades are there. Be sure and pick those up. So there's light rifle ammunition here first, since that previous level. Yeah, I get downed here by the turrets. I forgot. Yeah, that's right. So, severely weakening should just kill them, but it severely weakens those guys, the majors or captains. They have scatter shots, so they're no fun to deal with up close. And then just marking the turrets and taking them out with repeated shots, since I have plenty of light rifle ammunition to gather. So I like to fill up scattershot ammunition, fill up my battle rifle, fill up the light rifle, run through here, and then you're going to do something very specific here. You want to, during all this cinematic crap, run right here and snipe this sniper with your light rifle, and then snipe that sniper with your light rifle, and now you're done with the snipers. Run over to here. You can, if you have better ways to do this, that's fine. I like to run into this area and then call my teammates back to here so they're not just cannon fodder, essentially. This guy's usually over here. I don't know if I've talked about this before because it's a feature that's woefully underpowered, is that if you shoot at a wall or at the floor near a knight, the rounds that come away from that will track that knight.
Knows the answer already. Take this position. Sure.
I'll make it happen.
yeah, again, sticking with the Promethean noob combo right now. Right now, I really want to focus more on the, oh, coward bastard. I really want to focus more on the Watchers, obviously, because they will heal up the guys that you're damaging, or shield them at the very last second. Shield them, then heal them, which sucks. You have to be very careful of that guy. He's just standing there like the obstacle that he is. But fortunately, we're able to kill him.
Take these coordinates. Boom, blue team.
So you can come over here right now, just in case you're worried about them despawning, and grab at least one of the sniper, the binary rifles, the Promethean sniper. I can't find the other one. I will find it later, though. We'll get back to that. But I do find it later. But for some reason, I couldn't find that one, which is very strange, given that it's right there where I was standing. Like I said, we figured that out later on. These guys are really grenade happy. We don't actually have one of them throw a grenade at us here, but just be wary of that. I like to come up this side, take those two guys out. They'll always be standing there, and they're always going to be standing there on both sides. Then you have the turret guys that are remaining. For some reason, he can take a direct grenade shot and not even have his armor break, which is just stupid as hell. God bless. That was pretty close to his face, man. And of course now, you know, he's Johnny on the spot with the turret shot there, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. What was that? That was crazy earlier. I go down many more times because, again, I'm not going to play this game like a coward. It's no fun to play it like that. I'd rather, you know, get downed and just wisely make sure my teammates are always behind me. And if they're not, especially in this level, then I put them behind me, so they don't constantly die. So there's one more guy over here. Of course, he's going to read every single input and dodge every single shot with his stupid-ass little no cooldown evades. So let's just, you know, kick his ass with this gun. Or with a nice little melee attack there. So grab the binary rifle. We're going to take the turret with us. Unfortunately, I take the least good turret. It really doesn't matter. It's not really all that helpful in the next section. And I drop it there, and then once I get this thing a-moving, I'm going to actually go back and fill up my ammunition for the light rifle and the binary rifle. Don't worry, it won't leave without you, so to speak. There it is. So I guess maybe I didn't run it over earlier. And then run over to this case here, fill up your light rifle if you can from it and it alone, and then look at those guys. They're so far ahead listening to Cortana's blather. But it just zaps us right back onto the elevator. I believe you can do that with every one of these elevators, gondolas, whatever you want to call them. And here we get a bunch of garbage retcon justification for why things are happening, why the universe is breaking, why my heart is torn asunder. Yikes, this level is a pile of crap. And you know, there's a lot of levels in this game that are good, but then contribute to the pile of crap that is this story. This happens to be the only one, though, that has all Prometheans, that has this very linear, boring level design, and of course, has as its finale, the garbage 3 Warden fight. So, we get 4 soldiers here that spawn in. Some of them, I think, have light rifles, and then some of them have suppressors. I don't think they have a scatter shot, so you could get theoretically closer to them in this section if you brought the shotgun or want to grab one from a case that's to the right and to the left. Cases to the right and to the left. But once you move up to a certain point, you're going to get 2 turrets and then 2 Knight Captains spawn with the turrets. You can kill them in one shot with the binary rifle. I just don't do it here, probably out of nerves. Just not wanting to be hammered by the turret, but no nerves there. Taking it out right as it's about to fire, which, by the way, the turrets are at their weakest whenever their little eye is open there and firing. So some piece of crap took a couple pot shots there and then ran away like the coward that he is. But don't worry, we're going to kick his ass. The one good thing about this level is the music. The music in this level, or the sound, whatever you want to call it, is awesome from start to finish. It is the one thing that makes this level special, and it almost makes it feel like a good level sometimes. Come on out, you bastard. There we go. Nice shot, Fred. I'll tell you, Tanaka and Fred, they're the only ones you can count on because they have the DMR. They have their headshot weapons. So they can kill quite a few enemies, especially if you've got them weak. Vale and Kelly have the short-range weapons, so they often die. Linda just doesn't shoot her sniper rifle enough, and plus it's nerfed all to hell, as is the sniper rifle in general in this game. Alright, take that dude out. We're just going to face a lot of knights. They're pretty much symmetrical in this case in terms of how they spawn, so there's going to be 2 on each side after we kill that initial wave. One has a light rifle and one has a suppressor. Notice our guys are finally starting to use their weapons properly, and they generally use the alternate weapon, the one you give them a lot of the time in this from this point forward, and it makes things go a lot easier because it's a ranged weapon, which means they're not putting themselves in nearly as much danger, and of course they're pretty deadly with the non-charged shot. I believe that's the only one they'll shoot, is the non-charged mortar-like shot. So again, we've got, notice that we have just knights, again, symmetrically spawning on each side. Very creative. This guy just seems to move every time I get a shot on him with whatever weapon I'm holding, which is whatever. So now that we've got those 2 soldiers down, if I've called them knights, I apologize. And notice how we're prioritizing grabbing ammunition from the soldiers that drop it. We've got a handful of crawlers here. The last ones we'll see for the rest of the level. It looks like our teammates took a handful of them out, which is really nice. Now this is the final, well, it's not the final spawn. It's the most important spawn of this area, perhaps of the entire mission. You'll have 2 light rifle sniper-light guys that are on each side. They don't have, I call them sniper-light because they don't have a helmet, so you can actually headshot them. I just can't seem to do that to this guy, but you can headshot him without having to break his armor first. But they both have light rifles. There are 4 binary rifle guys of the similar type that are in the middle, that have spawned in the middle, and then there's 2 knights, 2 knight captains with the white armor, which means they can take a lot more damage. And they have incinerator cannons. I don't know what's scarier, because both can destroy you pretty easily. The binary rifle with its hit scan and ability to completely dematerialize you. And there's a lot of angles they have that you don't always see, like right there, so I can't rescue Fred, which is fine, that's okay, because ultimately I can give him one of the incinerator cannons that the 2 knights drop. So 2 snipers down from that angle. There's a light rifle in that case that I just kind of looked at there. As soon as you kill enough enemies, it might be 2 of the snipers, or maybe 4 of the snipers, including the 2 that have light rifles. Then you'll have these captains with scatter shots come in. They are a big problem because obviously they can destroy you pretty easily. There's a knight there, but we're kind of, looks like we're out of his range enough. I really don't want Linda to tear his carapace off, because if she does, then that will eventually make it much harder to kill him. She probably won't, though. Her weapon's too weak and her aim is too bad. Do not use the man cannons here. It just makes you vulnerable to being shot with the Amos, the tracking rounds of the knights. Once you land, they'll be ready for you. And of course, as soon as you appear in their sight, they shoot it. You know, it's just all that garbage. So forget about using the man cannons, and God bless, forget about using any sort of Spartan ability or anything like that. You know, it just, here it's just about shooting everything from range and knowing what obstacles are in your way here and what damages they pose. What damages? What threat they pose? I don't know. So go and respawn her, because God knows I don't want to lose too many people and have, you know, not be able to hand everybody an incinerator cannon. Alright, so he's lost his carapace, which means our teammates are kicking his ass, but... or were kicking his ass. And they ultimately kill him, which is really, really nice. So you need to have an incinerator cannon for this upcoming Warden battle. So grab this fresh one right here. And then you want to grab one of the binary rifles that were dropped by the snipers. Make sure you fill it up, obviously. And hand off these incinerator cannons to whoever doesn't have one yet. If you didn't lose anybody, then everybody should have them.
Take this position.
Got it.
Take this, Spartan.
Sure. Got an incineration cannon.
So everyone's got an incinerator cannon. I just check their backs and make sure everyone's good there. So listen very carefully here. So
Eyes up, Luke.
point your guys right there. Put them right there so they are out of the range of being attacked by the Warden. Run over here. Don't boost until you get on this thing. Then boost and then ground pound right there. You can use ADS if that's more comfortable to you. I don't find myself ever needing it. So run all the way here. This is just like as if you were going to skip the Warden battle. Run all the way here, all the way to this door, and then make it open. That way your guys will spawn up here with you and no longer be in danger of being killed by the Warden. Or downed by the Warden, and therefore losing their incinerator cannon and being out of the battle for however long they usually are. So then you want to just come back very carefully, and then you can fight this battle. Now, again, if you don't want to do this, just keep running and the level will end. But if you want to fight these guys, if you don't want to take the coward's way out, this is the best place to fight them from. So sometimes you can get a shot on this guy while he's not looking. So since he's already hit his critical animation, this is what I'm going to try to do. I don't know if I do this very well, but I want to snipe him once and then shoot him with the incinerator cannon, or the reverse order of that, which is what I'm going to do. One shot to the front doesn't necessarily cause him to go into that animation, so I want to snipe him and, you know, have him hit that critical shot. Now, what would be nice is if your teammates could do that for you. So you hit him once hard, and then they, with their mortars, loping mortars, actually get that critical hit, saving you ammunition. However, the problem is that once you go past that point to spawn them up here with you, you can't give them orders anymore. You cannot give them orders anymore. That is one of the trade-offs of this strategy. So since he went into the animation to shoot his void ball, I decided to go ahead and get a shot in on him, and hoping that my teammates maybe can take him down for the third critical hit there, but I ended up having to do it and wasting ammunition to do so. You want to focus fire on one Warden at a time. There are 3 here, obviously, if you didn't know that. So we've taken out one of them. Our teammates were doing really good work there. So now we've got the next 2. Usually one, and this is for the entire battle, one will stay in the center and one will stay all the way back to the far right. They are both going to be shooting their void balls and their beam sniper shots at you, right? The main thing you want to be careful of is not to have a void ball hit you with your teammates being dead, of course, or near this glass panel. Sometimes they will hit you with that void ball and it will shoot you up and over the glass panel. If that happens, then it's all over. Most all the time. Your teammates won't be able to rescue you without dying, or they won't even come down from here to rescue you. So you want to stay away from those glass panels when you don't know where the Wardens are. So if you play your cards right and RNG works in your favor, then you can take out 2 Wardens from up here. The last guy you're going to have to go get more ammunition for to kill, and usually when it's just 1 Warden, you can take them out pretty easily from down there. So notice I'm out of incinerator cannon. I've only got the binary rifle left. I'm hoping to God that my teammates and I can take this guy out. It'd be nice if your teammates could damage him enough so that 1 binary rifle round, each time you shoot 1, you critically hit him. Notice, if I haven't spoken of this before, you didn't know this, the Wardens take 6 critical hits on Legendary to kill. So the 6th one will kill them. And you know when he hits the critical, when you hit the critical hit, because of course he does this animation. Hit him in the back. Void ball is obviously the best place to hit them, But since an update that happened, I think about 8 months after this game came out, so back in 2016, the Wardens are a little easier to kill from the front. So notice that I'm shooting him in the face with the binary rifle. It does do significant damage, but so this is something that happens every once in a while. It doesn't happen very often. Is that these Wardens will switch places. The fresh one will come over to where you've been shooting them at, which is that guy, and then the damaged one will go all the way to the back. Not usually setting up the exact same spot as the other guy, but I use this opportunity to come down and refill my ammunition here. Normally I like to grab under certain conditions, I'd grab a light rifle and then come back up here, but I make a mistake here, and I actually boosted right before I came over to that man cannon, which made it impossible for me to go back into the position where you're best at. I save it because that Warden was really weak over here. So notice, you know, obviously I could have man cannon back up there, but to be honest with you, that probably wouldn't have been the best idea because I didn't have any light rifle. So long story short, your best bet at whenever that happens and they switch places is to go to the side where there's going to be that gap. He's chasing me now. And then come over, grab one of the incinerator cannons, and then go to the side where the weak Warden's at, take him out, and then do this to this guy. Use this barrier here and just keep circling around, because once he starts chasing you, he stops shooting his stupid tracking sniper crap. But his melee is obviously devastating here, but we catch him in the wrong spot, for him at least. We get him in a death animation, and we just shoot him in the back with the scatter shot until he dies. Alright, I hope I explained that well. Things were happening way too fast for me to explain it all to the best of my ability. Notice again, did the same stupid thing, boosted, and I'm still on the lock timing. To this moment, I have no idea why they screwed up the timing there. They made it to where the Chief runs slower, his thrust doesn't charge as fast. I don't know what you get in return with the Chief. I don't know if his shield's stronger or whatever. I actually tried to look that up, couldn't find an answer on it at all. So anyway, so finally I get the man cannon right, and I can boost up and out of here. My God, I hope I got that all right. I hope I explained that all properly. That was a really, really strong run. Even though I made the mistakes with the man cannon, I saved it. So guys, again, I could spend the next 30 minutes on this video talking about why this is the worst level in Halo history without a doubt. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to ask you to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Use the comments section to dispute me or to validate me with respect to my hate to the breaking, or to talk about anything else you think is important. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notifications bell. But as for now, this is JP3 signing out. Have a wonderful day, and thank you very, 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 very much for watching. Goodbye.